Hello friends, today I am honored and I am joined here with Robert, who is an attorney, and he just gave a presentation at the Water Quality Association meeting here in Las Vegas talking about PFAS. And so thank you so much for that wonderful information. Would you just mind telling me, are there 2 or 3 things that they can do to help PFAS get out of their water? Maybe what it is.
The U.S. Environmental Protection Agency is targeting PFAS chemicals in its new proposal for a national drinking water standard.
PFAS are toxic chemicals linked to serious diseases like, cancer, liver damage, and thyroid disease. And guess what? They never, ever, ever degrade. In fact, they're known as forever chemicals.
They're so prevalent, CDC scientists believe PFAS chemicals are in the bloodstreams of nearly all Americans.
Yeah, these are man-made chemicals that have been used in things that are stain-resistant, waterproof, grease-resistant, and they're in an incredible array of different products. And it's important to find out as much information as you can about what types of products these chemicals have been used in, and then to reach out to the folks that are still using them to try to encourage them to move away from using these chemicals in those products.
And it's Teflon.
What Teflon is one of those, yes.
From a company named DuPont.
Right.
DuPont is knowingly poisoning 70,000 local residents for the last 40 years.
Who is paying for this failure to act? It's people like Bucky Bailey, who's here today.
Yeah, DuPont used one of these chemicals called PFAS in making Teflon for many years.
Bucky Bailey's mother worked in the DuPont chemical plant in 1980 in Parkersville, West Virginia, making Teflon, the nonstick surface for pots and pans. What Bucky's mother didn't know at the time was that she was exposed to a chemical known as PFOA.
She was working directly with the chemical while she was pregnant with me,
which is now proven to be linked to cancer.
And they have now moved to making the same product, Teflon, but using a different type of perfluorinated material called Gen X.
Wow. And so just listening to your information about the health effects to people, dairy farms, you were talking about killing cows and people's health, like what kind of symptoms do people notice?
Well, over the last decade or so, these chemicals have been linked, unfortunately, to a wide range of different human health impacts. They've been linked with the potential to cause kidney cancer, testicular cancer, ulcerative colitis, thyroid disease, preeclampsia, high cholesterol, and more recently, there's a lot of concern about the potential impact to our immune system and even the potential to decrease vaccine effectiveness.
We're talking about a massive public health threat. This is something where when we first found out about it, it was affecting, we thought, one farm, one family. Then we realized this was a chemical that was in the entire surrounding community's drinking water. And as we kept digging through the documents and seeing all these documents that really nobody else had seen, we realized this stuff was in water all over the country, all over the world. And not just that, was getting in everybody's blood. And as Mark indicated, this stuff, when it gets in our blood, it sticks and it stays there and it builds up over time. We're now talking about probably one of the biggest environmental contamination stories in history. And most of us still don't know about it.
So out of the percentage of, in the U.S. alone, what would you say the percentage-wise in the U.S. on the percentage-wise of how many people are experiencing PFAS in their water?
Unfortunately, what we're finding is almost everywhere you test for these chemicals are being found. They've been used over the last 70 to 80 years in so many different products and emitted into the air and into the water, and unfortunately have made their way throughout our environment. So testing that's occurring across the country is finding these chemicals all over the country, and now really all over the world.
We were dealing with something that was not just affecting one family and one farmer and animals on one piece of property. But when I saw that this was a chemical that was in the entire community's water supply and in the blood of the entire country, but nobody knew that. Having other people finally see the story about how this chemical and this whole family of chemicals have now contaminated our entire planet and everyone on it. It's been something that's been very difficult to get out.
Wow. So it's a huge concern. I think you said it's an environmental epidemic. I might have said a human health hazard.
It's a worldwide public health threat.
Yes, yes. So if you're curious out there, if your water has PFAS in it, make sure to reach out to us. We have to do some complimentary water testing for you to see what we have in there and what we have to get it out. So thank you again for your time. Appreciate it, and thank you all of you.